one time. If you put us in, then it's crunch time. We eat the cob like it's lunchtime. If we talking sports, we ain't nothing nice. All we really need is one time. If you put us in, then it's crunch time. We eat the cob like it's lunchtime. If you talking sports, we ain't nothing nice. We just call it how we see it. We don't beat around the bush. It's a first down or a rebound. I dish it out for the assist. We just call it how we see it. We don't beat around the bush. It's a first down or a rebound. I dish it out for the assist.
We need some extra insurance kicked in. We need your coach. We need
half of your tab.
I got
we need part ownership on your team. Like that's what happened, bro.
I got a whole nother different theory on this, right?
Come on, I like this one.
I'm somewhat of a conspiracy theorist, right? And one thing I've noticed in my 41 years is that.
Don't say 25 years.
Oh, fuck that. I wish it was 45. I hope I live forever. Fuck that, man. The older I get, the more I'm blessed. So, no,
bro. We already older than Jesus. So, I mean,
yeah, I'm doing
at least
good.
we beat him at this standpoint.
Once I outlived Tupac, I was good. I'm like, shit, I'm doing great, motherfucker. So, one thing I've learned in 41 years, and this is just a conspiracy theory, so bear with me. But one thing I've learned is that every year, at this time of the year, it ain't shit going on in the news, man. Sports news. Every year, all my life, I always dreaded, and I love baseball, but I always dreaded once the finals was over. Because Sports Center, everything gets dry. It gets dead. For all my life. I'm sure it's always been that way.
Yeah.
And right now,
the home run derby is the only thing that's hot after that.
It's it. You got the All-Star game, and that had to get better when they started changing rules on that shit. So
and they put steroids back in the game so we give a home runs.
Look at it. I started noticing with all this shit that we started getting different stories like every fucking day about this shit. And this shit went on about 2-3 weeks. It's still going on. Yeah. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is the truth? Some of this, I gotta be honest, they just trying to keep something stoked to have something to fucking talk about. I said the other day, and the same thing we always bitch about, all of us bitch about. I said the other day, was waking up, I think we were still back and forth to the hospital. Was clicking through Fox Sports, clicking through ESPN, and I promise, same shit, still talking about LeBron, still talking about this, still talking about. I said, well, what the fuck are they talking about? And every day, this Durant and Kyrie shit. I'm like, and so it's something different every day, but ain't nothing happened. I really feel like some of it is just bullshit. I really do. Okay. I really feel that some of it ain't based on true shit. It's just trolling. It's just theories to keep people talking and stirring the shit.
I think a lot of this shit is trolling. That's what I think.
It could be trolling. It could be a lot. It could be a multitude of all that shit.
Kyrie and Durant are both known for being like
I can go with that. It might be trolling.
Like yesterday, like out of nowhere, they were saying how like out of nowhere, Kyrie was reported to be playing in the Drew League the same day as LeBron. Now all of a sudden, so reports just blew the fuck up everywhere. Like, oh shit, like we finna sign Kyrie today. It's a wrap. Yada yada. And then Kyrie doesn't even come to the gym. So I'm like, where did this report come from? Like, is Kyrie just leaking this little shit to just really fuck with people? And me personally, I love Kyrie, but Kyrie is a troll. He really is a troll. He is.
And that's all I'm saying. How much of it is real is what I'm saying. A lot of it just seems like bullshit.
I'm gonna say this too, because I feel the same way. Like that's talking about like even him buying a house in Los Angeles now. Like I don't give a damn if he bought a house in Los Angeles. Like what does that mean?
I want to buy a house in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I buy one right now. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, but it ain't mean like he's all of a sudden tagging up. And then the other thing I don't like too is like if LeBron wasn't talking to Westbrook at the Summer League game. Like what the fuck does that even mean, man? Like we all know Westbrook is already a standoffish guy.
I mean it. At this time of the year, they get dry for stories. It happens every year.
Exactly.
Get dry. They ain't got nothing to talk about, and we start hearing about stupid shit. Nobody, because like Amar said, it could be trolling. It's the fact that this time of year they will give those trolling stories more time because they don't have nothing else to talk about.
They ain't got shit else.
If Kyrie is trolling, right, and I can see this is what he's saying. Yeah. If Kyrie is trolling, them motherfuckers, let's say like if you Skip or Shat or Stephen A, you like, oh hell yeah, thank you. You just gave me something to talk about today. So thank you for trolling because now I have a whole day of bullshit I can talk about that ain't based on nothing in reality.
Like LeBron James shoe size went from a 14.5 to a 16.
Yeah,
like, what?
It got more legs during this time of year because ain't nothing else to talk about. One thing that we've all noticed is that even with the NFL, and I love it, we all love it. All this shit because of branding, NFL, NBA. These leagues have become year-round thing where we watching the draft. It's almost like the NFL season, NBA season ain't never over.
Ends. It's never over.
So it works. And I love it because we all sports fans, so that works for us. But it still don't change the fact that right now in the middle of July, you don't have a whole lot of scores on the goddamn news right now. All you got is whatever baseball games they played. And that's it. So it's not a lot to talk about.
Maybe a little track and field and
maybe a little
golf.
something. Not a lot. Seriously, look, like you say, a little golf. Hell, it gets so dry. I literally was watching Wimbledon last week. I watched Wimbledon.
Watched golf yesterday.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Wimbledon was not bad. It was,
I was watching
like,
it yesterday, bro. I was watching
real talk, and I'm like, I was shocked myself. So
it's just that it's out there killing it.
It's just that time of the year, man. Seriously, so a lot of it could be that.
But so check this out. But you know who started this, right? You know who the king is of doing this shit, bro. It's the Dallas Cowboys. It's Jerry Jones. This is what Jerry Jones does every year. He does this shit every year. And see, people are catching on how to keep their names relevant, how to keep things relevant.
Yes, so
Jerry comes up with a story every so often, or he does an interview every so often that he says something that he knows is going to grab everybody's attention. And
you look at that shit. I tell you what, I would love that because I hate them motherfuckers anyway. I would love to hate Tom Brady.
Read the caption.
I can't see it.
It says the only
stop Tom Brady from getting. Oh yeah, that's funny.
The ring. Yeah, I like that. Okay, no, but I like that, bro. Good job.
Some real shit.
That's some real shit. I like that, bro.
Hey, but just our luck. If just our luck, he probably would win if he got with them motherfuckers.
Nah. We don't need no more of that, bro.
Like I say, that's the kind of luck I got. Shit.
So look, I got the Clippers love.
So look, because we're talking about how people do stuff, man, like, you know, like trolling and following trolls and all this. So is this kind of like with that whole like new school, old school media type shit? You know what I mean? See, old school media like to follow trolls, man, to come up with a story, right? And then we got our boy Draymond Green, who feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like old school is bullshit at this particular point, that we need some new type of media. So I'm gonna ask y'all, man, like honestly, like where do we fall at in this category, man? See, I think we're a mix of both. You know what I mean? Because you gotta have a little bit of old school.
No, we are new school media. Think about it. Yeah. We are literally new school media right now.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, fair enough.
But you said though, we're a mixture.
Or we're a mixture.
Because we keep the shit real too. We ask the necessary questions on both sides of every topic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're not just looking at it. We're not just trying to make a story. We're gonna dig into the story. We want to find out both sides. Well, okay.
And if it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like on the new media per se, they take a story and they run with their side of it. That's it in a sense, right?
Yeah, in a sense, yeah.
And sometimes they have people debate about it, but we're like, let's take something and then, like we said, like we don't always agree on shit or whatever the case be, which is still a debate in the same sense. But like I said,
it's a different viewpoint.
Like Eddie D is gonna always ask multiple questions on one subject. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna look at A, B, C, and D. If there's different obstacles to this thing, you know, we're all gonna look at things differently. We're not gonna just take this story and say, boom, print it. Like, no, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I think is the difference. You know what I'm saying? We're like a hybrid because we're not just.
See, that's what I felt like we were, a hybrid.
I think we're a hybrid of it. I think.
Yeah, we lean more towards
everybody but JJ. He just judged.
I do get what Draymond was saying. I do get what Draymond says though. And I think Draymond more. I think Draymond and these other guys are more in the sense that I think they're just more like butthurt because they feel like they get talked to. I think what it is that they feel like they get bashed whenever they do bad, and then when good things are going on, they don't get talked enough about when it's good things going on. I agree, and I think that's more so what they're not breaking it down in that sense, but that's what they're trying to come across as, but they're not saying it in a good way. And that's what I think. That's what I think.
I agree.
So Amari, do you think they don't have a thick enough skin?
They don't. KD for sure don't.
No doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt. That motherfucker there.
He got
I'm surprised he got on and shot somebody. That motherfucker.
He got to gain some weight on his emotional skin.
Yeah, he is extremely sensitive. You right, man.
He is sensitive as a motherfucker.
He's so fucking sensitive. I don't even enjoy him like getting trolled no more.
Like, I look at him as one of my wife's homegirls type shit.
Bro. Yeah, he just like a bitch. Like, no offense, KD. I ain't mad at you like that, but goddamn.
On the court, savage. Dog.
He
savage. Killer.
Yeah.
But once he gets off the court and gets his little fucking his cardigan and his sweats and his long socks and hat on and beanies and shit, covering up them BDBs and shit. After that,
blow that shit out.
That motherfucker turns into a fucking girl eating ice cream on the couch. I swear,
extremely sensitive, man. Like,
JJ, you look like you got something funny to say, bro.
Come on, JJ. I feel like I told you, all JJ want to do is judge people. That's all he do.
Nah. We gonna change his name to Judgmental.
From Salt and Pepper to Shane.
Nah, I see you, Eddie. I see you, but nah, I was just
Salt and Pepper
trying to put it out there that the media is so much different, but we don't do that. Like we're calling out like each side of every story. You know, we see the aspects from or we try to see the aspects from every point of view. And the media, especially the big media, they go after the drama. The dramatics is what sells their story.
Good one, good one.
So that's what they go after. Even if somebody's right, if their drama scene is gonna make more of a story for them, they don't care. They don't care if that destroys that person. Even if they're right, they just want to sell that fucking drama.
Exactly,
and that's it.
Man, y'all seen that off subject? Y'all seen that George Foreman shit? I mean, just before I forget it, we go back to it, but Google that shit right while we talking.
What is it? What is it?
That motherfucker. They got two because going about what JJ just said about how they love bullshit. You know that motherfucker got 2 cases against his ass now from the 70s. I heard that yesterday.
What?
Two, like some Deshaun shit. Yeah, I heard that yesterday.
I was about to say that. I knew you was about to say that, bro.
No, it's bullshit. From the fucking 70s, dog. Yes. Two women that came out saying that he was friends with their daddy, and I promise.
Yo, powder pussy out here, like
because of what JJ just said, though. People know that they gonna eat that shit up and run with it.
So we talking 50 years later?
Yeah, like 40, 50 fucking years. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
No, but they know that can get some legs, and it ain't like they trying to bring him up on charges. They trying to some civil suit shit, trying to get paid.
They can't get no samples. They can't get no fucking.
Fuck,
dog. They can't do what the fuck they gonna do. What the fuck they gonna do?
I think after the Cosby shit, they shouldn't even go that route. But it's just to say what JJ is saying, that they know, people like that know, man. If I say it, somebody gonna pick this story up and run with it. So I'm gonna get something because if anybody who's accused of anything at this point, be it a sports figure, any type of fucking singer, rapper, shit like that.
Famous podcast person like us, you know.
They know that once that person's name is out there, that's gonna be negative. People gonna believe it. So because that's what people do, they take negative shit and run with it. So at the end of the day, you would do better just handling it out of court, because once these people get a hold of it, they run with it. Because they love that negative shit, like what JJ said. They love it.
They love the shit.
Yeah, nobody gonna debunk it and say, man, nah, that's bullshit. That's not true. Let's not pick that up. That's one thing old school I think did better, was they knew what was bullshit and what wasn't. But now they run with anything just to have something to talk about, because they know that this shit, nobody has a long attention span anyway. They're gonna talk about it for a few days. It's gonna be bullshit, but it gives them something to talk about.
Yeah.
So and with that same, what you're talking about, that same subject, right? You notice that the only people that's pushing back, right? You see with JJ Redick, that's why people starting to love this shit, because this new school media, they're doing what we talking about. They just want
CJ McCollum too. CJ McCollum too. CJ and JJ got a good career in this too, bro. I'm gonna tell you, bro.
JJ for sure though. Because JJ,
I agree.
He's keeping it 100. Like, okay, y'all sitting here saying this, and that. Well, what about, this, and that?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the difference between us and then new media and old media. Like we just said, I think new media, like we said, look for the drama or just the out the world big picture, like the big stories. No, we're looking at all aspects of every story. And of course we want the big stories too. And that's why I think it's about to change the game by adding guys like JJ Redick, CJ McCollum, adding guys, that were, sports players, because you don't see a lot of NFL guys besides, we see Clark, and I love Clark. Clark is
I love Clark too.
I love Clark.
Ryan Clark is good.
I've always liked Ryan Clark,
I love Ryan Clark. I love Jay Williams, because they keep it 100. And so, but we don't see enough of the ex-players, intertwined with the new media, I guess you would call it, whatever the case be. We need more of that. With more of that, I think it will change the game to a lot more of this hybrid of what we call ourselves.
So I got a question. Another question.
So we're
for you,
the original hybrid. I want that to be known. Original hybrid is here.
So I got another question, and that's what the question's about. Another question for any one of y'all, but this is directed to more. So do you think that you talk about like the Jay Williams, the JJ Reddicks? Do you think, kind of like what D just said about ushering the shit in, like being the first? Do you think that they are the first, or do you think that they are just the outliers? Do you think that it's just the way they are, or do you think that they're ushering in a new era that is they're the first to start doing that, and that's the way it's gonna go? Is people gonna start being more honest, like, hey, what the fuck are y'all talking about?
I think it's just them, and me personally, I think that there's not more of this, because I think these companies and stations are controlling it because they're like, well, we can't have too many of these guys doing this.
Yeah, that's true.
Back there in that
and
ear.
These guys, I feel like these guys are the reason why they're still so stuck around because they've came in and they've been killing it. You know what I'm saying?
They got to keep them around. Yeah.
Yeah, so they got to keep them around because if they was to disappear out of nowhere, I think it would raise flags like, what the fuck they've been killing shit. Why the fuck?
That's when Fox will come in, and that's when Fox gonna come in. Fox gonna be like,
I don't understand how there's not more guys.
Amen. Hey, because what you just said, I was literally going there, D.
Great minds think alike, bro.
No, think about it. That what he said is golden because I mean, at the end of the day, ain't that what the fuck we've seen? You see these people, they go to fucking ESPN, and I like ESPN, but honestly, let's keep it real. ESPN show one side of shit, it's very curved, is what I'm saying. And next thing you know, they go to Fox Sports, and you like, wow, this dude's still. So I agree with that. It's like they know after a while we can't just get rid of everybody. Tell me something.
Sharp,
to this
I think
day,
he does a great job.
I love Shannon, but I do you one better. Where the fuck is Chris Carter? Think about it. You cannot get rid of all these people like that. Chris Carter used to be one of the best motherfuckers
on the mic.
I think Chris Carter problem is I think he got that fucking
He too on it.
PTSD?
Who's the fucking coach that we've been fucking mad that he ain't got another job yet?
You talking about Mark Jackson?
Mark Jackson.
Yeah.
I think that Chris Carter got that Mark Jackson. That
he's very spiritual.
You can't put a muzzle on him.
Maybe so.
So that's what I think with
because
that.
Because to me, he's the JJ Redick's of all of them. Like Chris Carter to me is that dude.
But I think he's a little bit of. I think he's to the point to where they like we can't control this dude. That's just me.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm gonna Google to see if he got a podcast somewhere because I'd love to listen to that motherfucker just talk shit,
bro, he was good about
everything. He was great at it.
First things first in the morning, man. I used to love watching First Things
Every
First
show
in the morning.
he went to,
and then
when he was on the Monday night or whatever the countdown shit. I mean, he the one started like what's that shit? The fucking what's that shit they be saying on that fucking
that Come On Man segment?
Yeah, that was his line.
That was his line.
Everything he touched go gold because he's just a real dude like that. But it's almost like they started realizing we can't get rid of all the Chris Carters. We got to keep some of these JJ Reddicks. We got to keep some of these people. So
you can't get rid of cats like that, bro. Cats like that are very special and unique, bro.
You gotta have them.
I think that's what we lost there. But I want to add one more player into the mix. And I don't know if y'all been watching this too, but see, HBO is starting to do the same thing too now, where HBO Sports is starting to pick up. So like now you got ESPN, you got Fox, you got HBO, and of course for NFL people, like the NFL Red Zone, right? So like anytime ESPN dropping off, man, and people are seeing that talent outside of ESPN, man, they picking them up, man. And the only thing that's doing is making ESPN take this nosedive, bro. At this particular point, they so stuck at being old school, bro, and
they only know one way. Yeah, they a one trick pony.
And it's just taking them. And again, hey, it's hard to be on the top of the mountain for a long time, bro, because eventually somebody gonna knock you off.
Which is true. You're right. It's hard to stay there. You're right.
It's hard to stay there. Eventually, defeat comes knocking at your door, man. You know, and I think we're beginning to see now in our generation, you know what I mean, that somebody's already knocking at the door. But this time, you got multiple people knocking at the door. You know, I can say the same thing about Vincent Kennedy McMahon. You know what I mean? Like the WWE has been a strong player in wrestling for a long time, and then all of a sudden, you have these different promotions learning to like just combine with each other to knock at that door and say, hey man, like you're not the only person out here that can produce talent, you know what I mean, or can have a good show. We can have that too. So the mountain for ESPN, and that's the same thing for WWE, bro. Like it's not gonna last for too long before the market is about to, that they about to make this divide, you know what I mean, and then eventually you're gonna fade off because you're gonna become part of the irrelevant crew, and that's just how I see ESPN going at this particular point.
Become obsolete.
You become obsolete. And that's where they headed at, man. If they don't make that change, you know, let a JJ Redick be fired from that bad boy. Let a J Will be fired from that boy, or decide to leave, bro.
Yeah.
You're losing most of your strong viewers because a lot of your viewers now, do agree with what they're saying because like now they're hearing different sides of the coin instead of just being force fed one side of the coin, you know.
Yep.
And people are liking that now because now we get more truth to what's going on instead of hearing the things that is fictitious.
Amen. I listen. I don't even watch, and I get a little bit of JJ because I don't watch First Take no more. But with all I do watch until First Things First come on is what is it with Max and Jay Will.
Jay Will.
I watch the fuck out of that in the morning. That's my first show in the morning.
That's what I'm
that's my first show. Because I know I'm gonna get some real shit. Then I can go to First Things First, and I can watch Skip and Shannon,
97.5,
The Herd. Yeah, I don't even fuck with ESPN like that too much no more.
Nah, man,
I do fuck with that. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I start off with that.
It's like what we do, and I want to hear the real shit. So.
Shout out Jay.
Like you, Amar. Go ahead, Amar.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out Keyshawn for having me on the show. You know what I'm saying? on 97.5, man.
There you
Fuck
go.
with
There you
y'all,
go.
know what
There
I'm
you go.
saying?
Yeah, because that's some real shit right there, man.
It's real shit. Thank you.
Because it's real shit. And again, I mean, I may not be like Skip's biggest fan because Skip does too much that cowboy shit, and I ain't a fan of all that.
Skip get on my nerves.
But Shannon,
nerves.
I gotta give it to Shay Shay, and even his podcast, man, Club Shay Shay, man. Shay Shay keep it 100, fool.
Yeah, even
like,
Skip is grandfathered in because he kind of old school, so it's different for Skip.
No, it's just some shit with Skip just really gets on my nerves.
It like, do, but he an older guy.
I understand it's for television and shit, but like we brought you over here to really, really debate real shit and be 100 about shit. And I do feel like some of the times he is being honest, and then there's sometimes I'm like, bro, are you serious right now? Like,
some of shit
are you really being serious right now, bro? Like Shannon, like we know LeBron's his boy, but he'll also call out LeBron if LeBron fuck.
Yeah, he does. He sure does.
I fuck with Shannon heavy.
Yeah, so I'm saying like Shannon will keep his shit 100, whether it's his favorite players he dislike, he gonna keep it 100.
Yeah.
Skip. It's like the guys that he likes, he gonna still find a way to fucking talk nice about them.
Dakota.
That's the shit I don't like. You know what I'm saying?
Dakota.
Like, you've been around too long now, bro, to be still be doing this weird shit.
But like that's that old school media.
That's that old school.
It's just like lawyers. They've created friendship. Look, y'all can't tell me. I don't know how much y'all watch First Take, but that's one of the things used to piss me off the most about Stephen A. It's not just his stupid bullshit, but about how he was constantly name dropping. And all the things, and that's I'm not knocking him, but that was an older school way of being. It's like a lawyer, it's who you know and shit like that. And I'm not knocking that because
and my source is more credible than yours.
Yeah, like what's his name, like Brian Windhorst. You do want to get the right news from people, so I'm not knocking him. So I'm not gonna just completely throw out the baby with the bathwater. But what I am saying is, at the end of the day,
I like that one.
Okay, at the end of the day,
that's some Walt shit right there, bro. You've been around me too long.
Throw the baby at the bathwater.
Hey, bro, we know you from the Golden Triangle, food. That's an old grandma saying.
Yeah, motherfuckers are stupid,
but it's the truth. He been drinking.
Hey, it's the truth though. You don't want to lose the good with the bad. So at the end of the day, I'm not knocking that older school way of doing stuff, but you can tell that that's what that's from. After a while, don't nobody give a fuck who you be rubbing, because as you rub elbows with people, you create those that you got that rapport with them. You can also create friendships. So it's people you don't want to like talk about. You become less credible that way, because at the end of the day, because you have that connection with, let's say, a LeBron, you're not gonna throw him under the bus as fast when he do something fucked up. So are you really sincere in your craft? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because your job
at that particular point,
at that point you've been compromised. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.